Thank you, Dennis. All new here at 6, there are 18 million veterans spread out across America, and by some estimates, 7 million of them suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder from the things they witnessed on the front lines. Even more sobering, every day an average of 22 former service members will take their own lives, haunted by their time in uniform. And that is where a woman in Ruskin comes into the story. I found out her veterans retreat along the Little Manatee River is quietly helping thousands every year, and it's not through medicine or counseling.
It was just 9 years ago, just down this unassuming and almost hidden road in Ruskin, when sorrow met serenity, and where both got a mutual introduction from Kelly Kowall. In 2012, with less than $500 in her bank account, Kowall bought a run-down, drug-infested 5-acre patch of land on the banks of the Little Manatee River and cobbled together a piece of paradise called My Warrior's Place, a place
where people understood what they have gone through because they've been there and they've done that.
A waterside retreat for active and former veterans with PTSD, like Chris Fugit, who admits this healing community may have saved his life.
I guess it's like being reborn, almost. You know, it's just reliving yourself, revamping yourself.
Here, there is no counseling or medication. Therapy is whatever Mother Nature provides, from boating trips out to the bay, to fishing, to kayaking, or even just a quiet place to meditate and reflect.
When you talk to a veteran who's lost somebody on a battlefield, they can't help but tear up when they talk about it, because that's family to them. And I just wanted to help them.
But then Kowall realized she could help Gold Star families too. Chris Hager had a son, Joshua, an Army Ranger, 14 years later, and it still hurts.
The week before Josh was killed, my phone rang, and he said, "Hi, Dad, I just called to tell you I love you." 6 days before he was killed.
As a parent, there is no therapy that makes that pain go away. But Hager says the community at My Warrior's Place helps soften the blow. Sometimes it's just knowing you're not alone.
The best part about Gold Star fathers and families is we never have to say anything.
Kowall estimates 10,000 visitors have come and stayed on these grounds in the past 9 years. It offers 10 private rooms and a few RV pads to folks who want to stay for a day or a week. Many saying it is the best night's sleep they've had in years.
There is something magical here. Can't really put your finger on it, but you feel it. And pictures can't capture it.
Tony and Craig Gross lost their son Frank in an IED explosion just 21 days after he was deployed. Craig admits for years his therapy was at the bottom of a bottle.
And it was kind of like wearing a mask over my face, happy on the outside, but just totally crushed on the inside. And Tony was a little bit more solid than I was, and thank God that she was, because she's what brought me through.
They both credit My Warrior's Place with helping them to get to a good place in their lives now. Al Carter with the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs says you won't find many holistic-based retreats like it for veterans.
Not all medicine is physical. Sometimes you need a place where you can get away, where you can have a place of respite, where you can relax and recharge and regenerate.
It's hard to imagine a place of so much peace and healing actually had to come from a place of so much pain. In September of 2009, Kelly Kowall's son Corey went out on a mission in Afghanistan to clear IEDs. Unfortunately, that day, he and the medic on his Humvee would not come home. Can I ask you about Corey?
Yes. I love talking about him. He knew what he wanted to do in life from the very beginning. I mean, it's just, he wanted to be airborne ranger. And
From the time he was a kid, he knew.
He knew. He wanted to jump out of planes. He used to practice jumping out of the trees.
Corey Kowall always told his mom he wanted to save lives. Joining the fight in Afghanistan was the way he knew how. After he died, Kelly says Corey came to her in several dreams, telling her to build a place for healing. 100% run by volunteers, slowly it has come together with donations from private donors to big businesses who believe in what is happening down here in Ruskin.
They're never going to know the amount of lives that their donations have made. I've been lucky to see it. When you have somebody come up and say, I wouldn't be here today and be one of the 22. It makes all the hard work worthwhile.
And in many ways, through his mother, Kelly Kowall is still saving lives, even after his death.
It gave me a purpose that I didn't have, that I was lacking in my life. And I now realize how fortunate I am to have fallen into a purpose, one that is so meaningful to so many people.
My Warriors Place is also open to Blue Star families and first responders, and they are in the process of building a boarding facility and dog park for service dogs when circumstances arise which would necessitate a temporary separation of a handler from their dog. In fact, when a private donor heard we were doing this profile, they promised to match dollar for dollar all donations up to $10,000 for that boarding facility. I've put all of the donation information to this story, which you can find right now on abcactionnews.com.